DMD coming in, SPD, we got the teaser of Vicky's going to get in a tag team match. We got that last week, and we were wondering, like, where is this going? DMD addressed that head on in her promo tonight. What were your thoughts before I go on the tirade? What were your thoughts on this overall segment leading up to the match next week? And SPD, so far we've gotten since the Big Mac. Since the beginning of the DMD era, it's been the DMD and Nyla Rose era. I mean, DMD has had to share the spotlight with Nyla Rose since the beginning of the coronation of the DMD. She didn't even get a chance to taste that delicious Big Mac. And so, SPD, how do you feel the way this Nyla Rose Britt Baker feud is going? And give us your thoughts on the overall segments tonight.
I mean, as always, this isn't getting stale to me. Like some of like the Sting and stuff was getting stale, the same interview over and over again. But DMD is so smooth on her delivery. And I loved how, excuse me in advance, and I'll send you home with a prescription. I love that line. It's short to the point, maximizing your minutes as well, like I said before. But like you said, not to steal your thunder, the fire and the
you totally are stealing my thunder.
You say it.
Well, I mean, and I think it comes with a lot of emphasis and just weight coming from me because I've been a DMD mark.
Of course,
I've been pushing the DMD train. I went back and listened to some of our older content, dude. I've been pushing DMD from day one, and I've been saying she's every bit the heel as MJF.
And she is.
But, dude, she misses Thunder Rosa right now. Like, she misses Thunder.
The yin to the yang, the feud that they had was like none other. Thunder. Obviously, they main evented for a reason. Obviously, they stole the show for a reason. It just worked so well together. Obviously, a new champ needs an opponent to go through first. And so I like that they're putting Nyla against this champ as a reputable opponent where you're not throwing in someone like a dark match Squatch or something. So we haven't seen DMD in the ring since she's won the gold. And so for her to be her first defense against Nyla it will be a great move in that sense. But yes, there's nothing like the main event story that we saw that needed no gold with Thunder Rosa and DMD.
We'll get it eventually again. Yeah, my thoughts here, SPD, and I agree. I'm glad that you're kind of talking me off the bridge a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've always said Nyla is the what of the women's division.
You said she's the gatekeeper.
Right. And I think that she, as the gatekeeper, sort of as that big bad of the division, if you're going to legitimize Britt Baker's championship reign, it makes a lot of sense for her to beat Nyla right away.
That's a huge win. Ex-champ.
It's a big win. And you got to remember, Nyla beat Britt in the women's tournament.
Yep. And
I know there are a lot of critics out there of my girl, the DMD, that says, she lost the DMD. She lost to Thunder in that amazingly bloody, lights out, unsanctioned match. That is an iconic match in AEW history. But she lost that match. Without Rebel, does she beat Sheeta? There are a lot of questions about Britt. And I think that if you have her beat Nyla early on, okay, that goes a long way in legitimizing the DMD and setting the tone for this era.
Sure, of course.
And as somebody who likes Britt and defends Britt, I think that there's a lot of people who still have questions about what she can do in the ring that I don't agree with, but I know there are fans out there who question that her, unlike Serena Deeb, Thunder Rosa, these types of athletes on the AEW roster and NWA rosters, there are a lot of talents. Nyla is another example that no one questions what she does in the ring. So I think Britt needs this, but
sure.
I'm telling you, bro, I know you're trying to take all the talent over to Team Babyface, but you're going to hurt all of us if you take Britt over to Team Babyface. This is not working.
It's going to naturally happen once these full crowds, man.
I know that they're trying with Nyla. I get it, right? Nyla is a great heel. He's going to, I get that. But I feel like Britt works best when she has that compelling baby face on the other side of her. Nyla is very good at what she does. Nyla is not a baby face. And so I feel like Britt really needs that. Joker needs the Batman kind of, they need each other. And I feel like, Thunder Rosa, although I know her contract situation and all those things are an issue, I think that this feud is feeling weird for me with Britt because I'm uncomfortable seeing her in a way being the baby face. Mm-hmm. I want to see Britt be who she is, and that's that DMD who's willing to go for the jugular.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that AEW looks at the catalog of the women's division and says, okay, Serena Deeb would make a great compelling challenger. Mm-hmm. Ty Conti would make a great compelling challenger. Statlander has been built up now to be a compelling challenger. Rio, I would love to see Rio get an opportunity. I would love to see. I'd love to see Shida get a rematch. There are a lot of other, but
sure.
The underlying theme of all those names we just mentioned are for the most part baby faces.
Yeah.
Then allow Britt to lean into a crayfish specialty. You got to lean into your strengths, folks. And Britt Baker's strength is that she talks trash with the best of them, and you got to let her have that. And her rise came off the heels of undercutting some compelling baby faces, and Thunder Rosa is the most compelling babyface that I've seen emerge in pro wrestling in a long time, dude. Just the way that she has that fire, it's real. And
it's so fun to root for her.
It is. And the way she carries herself in the ring, let alone just like outside, when you get to know what she does outside the ring, it's easy to root for her. We talk about that yin and the yang, the iron sharpens iron. You need those two sides that are equally strong. I'm as a DMD fanboy, I admit I feel like Britt really needs that strong baby face on the other side.
Yeah.
I want the DMD era to go off to a good start. So SPD, you talked me off the bridge. You made me recognize the gatekeeper scenario. This is actually not the end of the world for Britt Baker, okay? It's not the end of the world. She gets to go against Nyla and get legitimized through that. But Britt's promo, getting to the meat of the promo, she talked a lot of trash about, and I loved it. If I had one favor with Tony Khan,
get a football
it would
team.
not be. It would like, hey, can you give me a football team? Right. That would be mine. Can you let me run the Cleveland Browns? That would be awesome. I would love that. Dude, you got to have Britt. You got to give her credit, dude. Britt is always so creative and so funny with her content, and that's why she always delivers. Dude, where do you see? Do you see Vicky getting in the ring, or is she gonna have an ace up her sleeve?
No, I think like we saw in Tully, I think someone like Nyla, being the beast and the gatekeeper that she is, can definitely carry the brunt of the load 100%. And Vicky will get tagged in, and then she'll run back to tag Nyla and maybe get a couple cheap shots and run back. So it'll be one of those things, and I think it'll be entertaining. And then finally, Britt will get the lockjaw on Vicky, I believe. And
okay.
But I think that's another thing. Like, obviously, we want to see that because she's so annoying. Excuse me, but that's almost like a babyface move to do, though. So, but it makes sense for Britt to get the lockjaw on Vicky, and then obviously, so there isn't any pin versus Nyla getting the pin.
Not losing, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
But there's a lot of digest in that for sure, and it'll be interesting to see. But